All right, I'd like to call the 119th Cumberland Valley Volunteer Firemen's Convention to order. I'd like to open up with, move on to our invocation, and Chaplain Charles Barnhart will be doing the invocation. Charlie, are you there?
I am here.
All right.
How is everyone this morning? I hope you're doing well. I can only see you, Alan, but I see a beautiful picture of me on here. I don't know where they got that from, but anyway, it's good to be with all of you. Sorry we can't be doing this in person, but again, we will remember in our prayers Dr. Carter and Steve. I know you're probably on, and you gave me his number to call him, and I tried one day 15 times, and it went to voicemail each time. So I did try to get a hold of him, and they're kind of keeping him private, I guess, but we want to remember him and anyone else that we should remember in our prayers this morning. So before we begin our business for this morning, let us pause for a word of prayer. Gracious God, for this beautiful day that you brought us together in a little different way, we pause and give you thanks. We give you thanks for the abundant blessings that you have given each one of us. We ask your blessing to be upon us as we have this meeting this morning. And we ask you to be with us in body, mind, and spirit. Father, again, we ask you to be with those who are on the mend or mending from some type of illness. We ask your guiding hand to be upon them. Give them strength, give them courage, and give them the assurance of your wonderful love. Again, we ask you to be with our officers this morning and everyone that is here. And all this and all our prayers we ask through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen.
New message from Richard Perillo. Would you like to hear it?
Thank you, Chaplain Barnhart.
Everyone.
Pledge of the flag. Meeting past President Chief Greg Yost. Chief Yost.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
for which
it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So before we move on, one of the things that we did is that we, and since we're not having the presentation of colors, is that I asked some of our friends from the fire service from all over to send pictures of flags. So I wanted to show the video that they sent. We'll go ahead and play that.
Okay, can everybody hear me?
Yep.
All right. President Allen, what? No, I'm doing roll call. Jesus. President Allen Baldwin.
Present.
First Vice President Joe Crowbeth, I know he's there. Second Vice President Dr. McDonald is there. Treasurer Jerry Daniels. Jerry there. Does anybody know if Jerry's on?
I've not seen him logged in, Deb.
Okay, all right. I know George Dove is there. Jim Watson is here. I'm here. Home Office Manager Mike Cox. Is Home Office Manager Mike Cox present?
He's on.
Okay. Publicity Manager Bob Romig, I know, is on. Chaplain Chaplain Barnhart's on. Assistant Chaplain Jim Wary. Has anybody seen Assistant Chaplain Jim Wary come on? Since I can't see the participants. All right. Attorney Howard Cohen. Attorney Howard Cohen. Has anybody seen Howard on? Delegate to Pennsylvania, Charlie Myers. Is Charlie on?
I don't see him. And Deb, I'll make it so you can see all the panelists
Okay.
or all the attendees, sorry.
Director Donna Welsh.
Dawn is on.
Has anybody seen Donna?
Donna's on.
Okay. I'm Director Bill Mortimer.
He's on.
Okay. Director Tony Correa, I know he's on. Director Dave Lewis is on. Director Steve Austin is on. Director Bob Cumberland is on. Has anybody seen Hobie Howe? I'm trying to.
He's on.
Okay. And why is it not letting me open? Okay. No, that's not. Past President Greg Yost. And any other people? Billy Goldfeder. I'm not getting the full. Hang on. And anybody that makes a motion, if you will, please make sure that you say your name so that because I'm having trouble getting everybody in here, you know. So, anyhow, thank you.
You tying your shoes?
Yep. Got to stay busy, Bob.
All right, folks, good morning. And again, thank you for taking the time this morning to join us, this unique opportunity or journey that we're starting with doing the meetings this way. Before I get into my remarks, Candace, thank you for the flag presentation. So I'm going to deviate from the agenda for a moment. I'm going to throw a contest in under the President's remarks. There was a slide in the flag presentation from Butler, Pennsylvania. If anybody can identify what the significance to the President is of that slide, the first person to contact me will receive a Stafford County Station 14 Dedication Challenge coin. So a little contest, and maybe Candace can run that at the end if we don't get a response, Candace. So let me just some brief remarks, and I apologize if I put on my old-time glasses. This year's been challenging for us. When I took office last year, I addressed the organization that command had been established and that we were moving forward. We're still moving forward in that direction, and our command presence is even stronger today than it was last year. Our focus, though, has shifted somewhat, and we've gone from what I would say an offensive operation to a defensive operation, focusing on the well-being of our members and the organization during these difficult times, and not so much moving forward. But again, we have forward progress, but we're focusing on the organization and our members while we get through this. And I just remind you again that it's not really about the destination, but it's about the journey. And I'm sure you all, the last several months, it's been an interesting journey and will continue to be. My thanks to the members of the organization, the officers, and our member departments, and our partner organizations for keeping us moving forward and on track and looking out for each other. And again, thank you for everybody's service. I'd like to turn over the meeting to Steve Austin, George Dove, and Chief Billy Goldfeder. And real quick, I missed my remarks and I apologize. We have some guests. Obviously, Chief Billy Goldfeder is with us today. Chief Billy Shelton, past director of the Virginia Department of Fire Programs, and Jeff Flippo from the Virginia Firefighters Association. I've missed some others. I greatly apologize. But Steve, George, and Chief Goldfeder, Firefighter of the Year Award, please.
Steve, did you have some remarks or do you want me to get going?
We want to welcome, thank you, Chief Goldfeder. We want to welcome Chief Billy Goldfeder today. He really needs no welcome. He's a longtime member of the association, and of course, he's a charter member of the Emergency Responder Safety Institute. Has been in our corner for many, many years, and I'll say no more about Billy's reputation nationally. We're so happy he had time to come on with us this morning, and we'll turn over the award presentation for the Member of the Year to Chief Billy Goldfeder.
Good morning. Just testing my audio. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Good. Well, good morning, everybody. And this is an exciting and kind of a neat thrill for me. And I was thrilled when President Baldwin and Steve Austin reached out to me and asked me to do this presentation. I wish, of course, like all of us, we were together. But unfortunately, this is the way it is in 2020. Dr. Harry Carter, charter member of the Responder Safety Institute and a longtime Cumberland Valley Volunteer Firemen's Association member, has been selected as the Cumberland Valley Volunteer Firemen's Association Fireman of the Year. Dr. Carter is a veteran fire chief and internationally known municipal fire protection consultant, author, writer, and lecturer. He currently serves as a fire commissioner and chairman of the board of Fire District Number 2 in Howell Township, New Jersey. Harry has also served as an adjunct member of a number of community colleges in New Jersey, as well as the National Fire Academy in Emmitsburg, Maryland. He formerly served on the faculty of the School of Public Leadership at Capella University in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Harry holds a Doctor of Philosophy from Capella University, and of course, if you've spent any time with Harry, he was born as a Doctor of Philosophy. He only just took the time to get that degree to prove it. But he is the philosopher of our business. He has a Master in Political Science from Rutgers, a bachelor's degree in Fire Safety Administration from Jersey City State College, a bachelor's in arts, a Bachelor of Arts from Thomas Edison University, and an associate degree in Business Administration from Brookdale Community College. Harry retired in 1999 as a Suppression Division Battalion Chief with the Newark, New Jersey Fire Department. During his time in Newark, he served as Chief of Training, Commander of Training, and Commander of the Hazardous Materials Response Team, and the Executive Officer to the Fire Chief of Department. Dr. Carter is also a past Fire Chief and Training Officer of the Adelphia Fire Company, located in the Adelphia section of Howell Township in New Jersey. Harry currently serves also as the Fire Company Chaplain. He serves as chaplain for his fire company, the East Freehold Fire Company, as well nearby. Dr. Carter is a fellow of the United States of America branch of Institution of Fire Engineers in Great Britain with the signature of Fire E. Harry is currently serving as a past president for that branch. He's a life member and former president of the International Society of Fire Service Instructors. He's also currently the president of the New Jersey State Association of Fire Districts and is the former president of the New Jersey Society of Fire Service Instructors. He's a life member of the NFPA and has served on their technical committees since 1975. Harry has authored more than 3,000 journal, magazine, and online articles and commentaries. And from 1977 to 1981, he served as a member of the National Joint Council of Fire Service Organizations. Personally, I first met Harry in the late 70s when I was a volunteer firefighter on Long Island. What drew me to Harry was a mayday that he experienced becoming trapped in a basement fire. And from that, he helped stoke my interest and my passion that you see today related to firefighter safety and survival. Harry had a huge part in giving me the motivation and the enthusiasm to move forward and do what I've been able to do. From there, we became friends ever since. Harry is a friend to thousands and a voice of reason to the fire service worldwide. I could go on, but we just don't have the time to do that today. So it is with great pride that we present Dr., Commissioner, Chief, and Firefighter Harry Carter the 2020 CVFFA Member of the Year Award. Please join me in congratulating Harry.
That's a surprise.
Totally.
Sorry,
What?
let me see that. Did you cry?
Yeah.
Cry, Dad.
Chief, they should be able to hear you.
I want to thank everybody for this honor. Nothing I've ever done, I did without wanting to do it. You're my friends, and I love being with you. And I wish I could be with you today.
Try that again. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I missed the button.
Hi, everybody. I want you to know that this is a complete and total surprise. I sure wish I could be with you because you know how much I love being with you guys. I'm hoping that what's going on in my life right now is just a little glitch, and that things will pop back, and I'll be with you at some point in the future.
Harry, it's Alan. If you guys need anything and the family needs anything, please let us know. We're here for you. All right?
Thank you for that, Alan. Thank you very much.
Also, real quick, Pete, I appreciate you being there with Harry and helping. For you who don't know, Pete Matthews is with Harry. Pete from Firehouse, and has always been a great supporter of the organization. Again, Pete, we appreciate your time here this morning.
You bet, Chief.
Well, again, thank you very much.
Harry, we heard from the Cuban government, and they're working on that special shipment of cigars for you.
I thank you for that, but I have been ordered by my lovely supervisor, Mrs. Carter, no more cigars. It's a memory, a happy memory.
It was the doctor's, not me.
Well, okay, it was the doctor.
Good to see you, Harry.
Better to be seen than viewed.
Harry, again, take care of yourself, and please, if you need anything, let us know. And Chief Goldfeder, again, thank you for your time this morning.
An absolute pleasure and honor for a longtime brother and friend.
Thank you, Billy.
Moving on the agenda to the reading of communications. Secretary Watson, do we have any communications to review or read?
I do not have any communications. I did receive a number of reports from officers, which I appreciate immensely, but I don't have any communications that I know of. I lied. Jimmy just handed me something. Oh, never mind. It's a report. I was getting ready to say, oh God, he just handed me something, so never mind. So that's, I don't have any.
Okay. Moving on to officers' reports. On the agenda, we had noted that they were submitted electronically, and actually we were in the process. I was receiving some even as late as this morning. We had noted on the agenda that they'd be posted prior to the meeting. That was not able to be done. Still coming in, so they will be posted with the minutes for review. Any questions on the reports or comments can be brought up at the October meeting. Board of Directors reports and committee reports. The same items. Again, they were submitted electronically, and they will be posted with the minutes for folks to review and comment on. And again, we can discuss and any other comments at the October meeting. Organization reports. Dave Lewis submitted the National Volunteer Fire Council report and the FEMA AFG grant report, as he usually does. They will be posted with the minutes for review also. Any questions on the committee or directors' reports?
Mr. President?
Yes, sir.
Just a point of order. Should we approve the minutes from our past convention?
That is coming up under old business.
Okay, I was just looking at the agenda, that's all.
Anything on any comments on the reports? Again, they'll be posted. We put the minutes up. All All right, moving on to unfinished business, or old business. Approval of past meeting minutes from the October 2019 meeting and the August 2019 convention.
Jim Watson approves. So moved, Mr. President.
Dave Lewis will second.
Any discussion?
Who was the second?
David Lewis.
Dave Lewis was the second. All right, we have the vote. The vote is up on the screen. Please take your time to vote. Yes, no, or abstain. Does anybody need any more time to vote? With there being no comment or discussion, Candace, do you have a tally? Okay, motion passes. Thank you. Next item under unfinished business, bylaw changes. Bylaw Chairman, Committee Chairman David Lewis. Dave?
Thank you, Alan, and thank Candace for finally unmuting me so I could.
Yeah, we can hear you now. It wasn't deliberate, I swear.
People have been trying.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
People have been trying to keep me quiet for years, you know. The bylaws, it was posted to the website. Let me just give you a little bit of background. These revisions actually date back to the meeting that we had in October of 2017 in Hacks Point, where we recognized the need for a number of changes to our bylaws to reflect the way that we do business and the way we want to do business. And so there was a couple initiatives. Bob Cumberland and Jim Watson have been participating with me along this 3-year journey now. And first set of proposals was put together back in 2018 and actually not approved until March of 2019. Unfortunately, the wheels turned slowly, but we did do some amendments to March 2019. Again, it was recognized that some additional changes were needed. We had offered those set of changes up for discussion at the meeting that we had in 2019, the convention meeting, with the intent that we would have the first reading of those proposals at the spring meeting and then be able to vote on them today for final resolution and adoption. Unfortunately, COVID-19 slowed that down. My own emergency surgery that I wasn't able to make the fall meeting kind of slowed that down. So again, the wheels kind of not only slowed down but came to a screeching halt. But what has been sent out to you via the link on the website was pretty much as we discussed, and I think that the committee included anybody's comments, anybody's concerns that we had, and the committee's recommendation is that they now be placed on the floor. This would be the first reading, and then that these would be available for a vote at our fall meeting, albeit virtually, for adoption. Just kind of tell you about some of the things that we did. A lot of it is cleanup. There was, let me see, a change there that basically says the president could not succeed himself or he couldn't come from the same state. We actually removed that. It recognized that the times that we are coming in and the absence of a number of people that are willing to step forward to, we didn't want to be overly restricting to new leaders coming into the association, nor did we want to restrict if we had a president doing a good job, we did not want to restrict that they could not hold a second term or multiple terms. The same way with the same state, that goes back to the old philosophy that we were a 5-state association and we rotated the presidency through those 5 states, and so we kind of got rid of that. There was some cleanup there to the nomination process that was actually approved again going back into the 2017-2018 time frame. There also was a thing in there that says if you weren't there for the banquet, you could, and you weren't installed, you forfeit your office. We felt that that was an antiquated thing. Basically, if you're elected, the committee felt that you're duly elected, you're duly appointed to that office, and that you would be installed at the next available meeting. There was some, the 2018-19 proposal had some assistant positions that we really didn't feel were needed. Those were taken out. There were some things in there about certain offices receiving donations. We felt like that no officer should be compensated other than out-of-pocket expenses for performing the duties of their position. Nobody else gets compensated for what they do, and so those were taken out. And then there was a clarification and expansion of who is the executive committee and what their duties are. And then there were some changes to the committee structure in terms of the standing committees and their responsibilities. Most prominently, President Baldwin asked that we put a community risk reduction and public education committee back in. That was in order to kind of re-trigger the fire prevention effort and kind of get that going again. Meetings, there were some things actually were put in as a result of what we've been through in the last 6 months because of COVID-19 that basically gave the president the authority to move the date or cancel a meeting if there were extreme weather conditions, operational considerations, or inability of somebody to host the meeting. So there also was a provision that we put on there that basically codified within our bylaws the allowance of online meetings such as what we're doing here today. And there was some clarification on the dues. Past President Steve Austin, they recommended we kind of, there were some things about removal from being suspended and expelled if you didn't pay your dues. We felt that it was felt that those were kind of harsh words. Basically, what we wanted to go was that if you did not pay your dues, you would be removed from the rolls, but upon payment of the dues and any back payments, you would be automatically reinstated. So we kind of made it a little bit more friendly to our membership. Clarification on the amendment process, that any officer or member can propose amendment that goes to the bylaws committee, and they would review that for style and format. And then we also, at the suggestion of past President Gene Worthington, actually put into that from here on out, the process for modifying the bylaws will basically say that we would have discussion at our fall meeting if necessary. We would have any proposals would come up for first reading at the spring meeting and then eligible for a vote at the convention meeting. So from here out to the future, once these are approved, we would only actually vote for amendment for bylaws as part of the convention meeting, not the spring or the fall booster meetings, which are less attended. That way, more members would have the opportunity to comment or elect and select and vote on any bylaws amendment. We retain the 3 appendices. One is just a guideline for the order of business for the meetings, guideline for the order of business for President's Council meeting, and the Fallen Fire and Emergency Services Benefit Fund, which actually was approved at the fall meeting that we did have, which was the last fall meeting. So, Mr. President, it's a recommendation to the committee that these proposals be placed on the floor for first reading and will be eligible for vote at your fall meeting.
David, thank you. And again, this has been a lot of work from the bylaws committee. As Dave said, this has gone back to 2008. And one of the things that I know I wanted to do, and the vice presidents, and I know even Chief Yost last year, was to try to get some of these outstanding items cleaned up and get us in a good position. So with that being said, do I have a motion to accept Dave's presentation for first reading?
So moved, Mr. President. Jim Watson.
Okay, we have a motion. Second.
Second, Greg Yost.
We have a second by past President Chief Yost. Any discussion or comments? All right, Candace, we'll post the poll.
Real quick, if anybody has any discussion or comments, they can raise their hand at this time and we can unmute you and allow you to talk. So we should probably give a few seconds for that, Alan.
Okay. Hey, we're in training.
Yeah, we are. We are. Oh, we have a hand raised. So let me. Just 1 second, Tim, and I will allow you to talk. All right. You'll need to unmute yourself.
How about that?
There we go.
How do the officers feel about the amendments? Do they all agree with the amendments?
Tim, first of all,
yes, sir.
Good to see you or hear from you.
Yeah, for a change.
Winchester, Berryville. Yes, sir. From my standpoint, and I'll let the other officers comment, this is something that's been going on for a while through some various terms of officers even. And some of this even dates back, and Dave Lewis can correct me, when we did some of the strategic planning years ago. And again, we're trying to clean some things up. I'm very comfortable with it, and that's one of the reasons it's on the agenda, because we've been talking about it for 2 to 3 years, if not longer, and we really need to do something with it. Because even now, with the format we're in today with this meeting, we need to keep up with the times and be able to do things like this and clean up some other areas and keep us moving forward, but also keep us current.
Yeah, I agree with everything that's been done. I just want to make sure that all the officers are on board with it.
And I would ask the officers that are on, feel free to comment again. And Dave, from the bylaw chair, if I'm saying anything wrong, let me know.
No, Mr. President, I think you're absolutely correct. I did get a note from Joe Crobeth earlier once they were posted. He can speak for himself, but he indicated he was fully supportive. And I think, again, this has been vetted through the executive board as well as the officers and several past presidents. So in my opinion, we are there. Is this perfect set of bylaws? Absolutely not. Is there more action to be taken? Yeah, but I think that this is a major step in cleaning up the bylaws, and I'd recommend that the membership of this organization support what we've done.
Mr. President,
total agreement.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Joe.
Thank you. So I'm sure many of you throughout your affiliations with different organizations, I'm certain, have been through bylaw changes. And I'm certain that in many cases, or in most cases, they are often talked about, but rarely actually implemented. And I just personally think that this is an excellent set of amendments to, as the words were said, clean up our bylaws. I think it advances us tremendously. And I just cannot express my appreciation to Dave Lewis and the committee that worked on this, because having done this, that type of work, it is extremely difficult to get a lot of people to participate in the process and argue the points. But I think that the committee under Dave's leadership has put together a very good set of concise documents that will launch us forward from here on. So I am very supportive of the amendments.
I'm also very supportive. I want to thank Dave and the team for working on this and taking this on. And again, like President Baldwin said, it's been a long time coming. So we're starting to advance and make some changes. So from my end, I'm very supportive. And I know that we had another person raise their hand. So Bob Cumberland, if you'd like to ask your question or share.
Thank you, Ken. Excuse me. Yeah, as being the past president and working with Jim Watson and the committee for probably the last 4 years before Dave took over as chairman. I know this has been a ongoing project. And from my standpoint, I think these are good changes. We had a lot to do with that, Dave and Jim and I, and I think it's time to move on. And we got to remember, bylaws is a living document. And like Joe Krobeth says, we talk about them so many times, but we never initially make changes or vote to make those changes. So I think this is a good time to do it. I think they're a good set, and they're, you know, other than maybe some graphical changes and things like that. I wanted to second the motion, but I was muted. So, but I'm in favor of moving along, and then that's my feelings. Thank you.
So real quick on that, if you do want to make a motion or second a motion, you can type that in the chat box or raise your hand real quick and we'll unmute you. So we want to make sure everybody has the opportunity to participate.
Any other comments or questions? If there is none, Candace, can we go ahead and post the poll, please?
Yep. Let me. Okay, is it up? Can you see it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Candace, Bill Mortimer still says he can't see it.
Okay, Bill, if you want to, if you're comfortable with putting your vote in the chat feature, you can do that, or you can send a private chat to myself or to Alan, and we can count that in. Bill, I just sent you a private thing. Okay, thank you. I got your response. And we appreciate you reaching out and letting us know, because we want to make sure everybody has a voice. President, are you ready to close the poll?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Motion unanimously passes. Thank you. All right, moving on to new business. First item under new business is elections of officers. First Vice President Joe Krobeth and Walter Robinson.
Okay,
Just a second, Joe, to get Walter on here, to unmute him.
Okay, all right.
All right, Walter, you should be able to unmute yourself and join the conversation.
Okay, I am here.
Walter, are you okay if I make some opening comments?
Go right ahead, Joe. I am reading the resolution as you speak.
All right, thank you. So, as you all know, we are in unprecedented times, and in unprecedented times, it's necessary sometimes to take unprecedented action. And several months ago, in speaking with some members, I, along with others, started to realize that the pandemic has really hampered the organization from completing or participating in many of our typical annual outreach programs, and mainly for the president to represent the organization at various events throughout the country, around the country, that we normally do. And because of that, I spoke with President Baldwin, and we both agreed because that he should probably not be the initiator of this type of a proposal, given the fact that there may be perception that it's self-serving. But I honestly feel that President Baldwin has been robbed of an opportunity to represent this great organization across the country, and that because of our lack of ability to participate in various conventions and conferences, as well as meetings with congressional leaders and local leaders, that this type of action that we are proposing today is appropriate. And that action is to request the membership to consider a postponement of the annual election of officers and directors and allow the current seated officers and directors to continue in their position and make adjustments if the pandemic continues to affect our ability. And we now, or hopefully after approval of the bylaw changes, we'll be able to continue to conduct meetings virtually. But I look forward very much that we can meet again very soon. As it was mentioned previously in the meeting, there have been occurrences in the history of the organization where events have prevented us from having a convention and electing officers, and this similar type of action has been taken to continue existing seated officers. So given the fact that most governors across all the states in the country issued stay-at-home orders and limited the amount of people that were able to congregate in given areas, and the amount of time it took everyone to respond, to stand up virtual meetings and share the technology, we simply were not able to represent the association as we would have liked to in the past 12 months. So with that, we are asking for the membership to consider approval of this formal resolution that would postpone the annual election of officers and directors due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And I'll turn it over to Walter if he has any further comments.
Mr. President, can you hear me? Alan?
Yeah, we can hear you, Steve.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to just give the result of the straw poll that was taken earlier. I think that will help the members maybe make a good decision on this. Our friends at Stonehouse Media helped us with the straw poll to see how the membership felt about this. The straw poll was unanimous. 77 people responded. Every one of them said that the idea of passing this resolution was important. And I wanted to make sure that everybody knew that there is a large sentiment in the association to adopt this resolution.
Let's talk later.
Thank you, Steve. I'm going to let First Vice President Crobeth handle this again because I want to make sure it's clear that I'm clear of any conflict of interest. So,
Joe?
President, I would yield to Walter to see if he has any comments that he would.
Joe, yes, I appreciate your work on this resolution. Talking to my other member of the nominating committee, Steve Switzer, we agree with this resolution, and the straw poll was taken, so we do not see a problem or have a problem with this resolution. And if I can, or I'd like to make a motion that we accept this resolution as written.
Second, Jim Watson.
Jim Watson.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second to consider approval of this resolution. I don't see Candace.
We've got several questions and comments. So yeah, so we're going to go ahead and I think the chaplain had a question, so I'll let him ask his first.
Can you hear me, Candace?
We can.
Oh, okay. Good morning, Joe. And I guess this is to Alan too. He didn't mention anything about us appointed people. Would we remain, hopefully, in office for another year until we are reappointed by the next command staff once an election is held?
Yes,
Charlie,
sir.
Well, not to interrupt Joe, but my intention was, and what I discussed with the two vice presidents, was if this resolution carries, we would maintain the appointed officers, we would maintain the appointed officers and the committee chairs. They would be contacted and want to make sure they still serve, but it's our intention to continue them forward and keep consistency among the whole board.
Okay, 'cause I'm not going anywhere, so, you know, I'll do what you need for me to do.
Thank you, Charlie.
And Steve Austin has told me many times I have this position for life.
And then some.
So that was my only question. Thank you very much.
So the next question that we have, Mr. Vice President, is from Mr. Bob Cumberland.
Hey, I really didn't have a question. I just said to raise my hand because my wife was going to make the motion or second it. And I wanted to let Debbie know that Joan Cumberland is in attendance at this meeting.
Oh, perfect, perfect. And that's a great point, Bob. So if you're in a household where you have multiple members, please type the names in the chat feature and let us know if you're not able to use that chat feature for some reason. Make sure you send us an email so that Deb can update the attendance to be accurate. And
yeah,
so,
I've been trying to use that chat, but I can't get it to go.
Well, you got the raising the hand feature, so that's good. So we can see you. All right, so the next question that we had, Dave Lewis had his hand up, so we'll allow him to ask his question.
Okay, mine's not really a question. We've kind of passed this resolution around. I just wanted to kind of give you the bylaw / parliamentary direction. Joe asked me to review that several months ago when it was still in the draft state. Ordinarily, from a bylaws perspective, it's highly recommended that an association never suspend their bylaws. However, we all recognize the pandemic situation that this country and this world is in, and therefore I think because of the extreme circumstances that we're in, the temporary suspension of those portions of the bylaws are in order, and from the bylaws committee we support this motion.
So the next question that we have on the table, we had Hobie. Hobie, I'll now let you speak. You got to unmute yourself, Hobie. While Hobie's trying to figure out how to unmute himself, we can ask Bill Mortimer had his hand up. So if he'd like to speak.
How's that going to work for the directors at the convention next year? You got 4 due this year and 3 due next year.
So, I'm sorry, Bill, could you repeat the question?
Okay, you got 4 directors that was supposed to expire this year and 3 next year. How's that going to work as to the serving time at the next convention with this?
Okay, so as I understood the question, there's 4 directors that were expected to, their term of office were to be terminated this year. So basically everything will just shift 1 year. The directors who are currently in office will remain in office, and then we will, at the next convention in 2021, we will elect new directors for those positions.
Because I'm up next year, that's what I asked.
Okay, so you'll just get extended for 1 year.
Okay. That's what I need to know. Okay.
All right. Thank you for serving in that capacity.
You're quite welcome.
I don't see any other questions, Mr. Vice President.
Okay, we'll pause for just about 5 or 10 seconds here in case someone wants to raise their hand or post a question in the chat box. Okay, if we have no further questions, can you post the motion? And should have put the vote on the screen. Please cast your vote.
Mr. Vice President, for the record, I'm abstaining.
Understand, sir.
Hobie, your microphone is open.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you now. Yeah.
Great. Okay.
Toby, did you want to make any comments? Earlier you had raised your hand.
Now, I agree with everything. I was in contact with the president in reference to this many months ago when this came about. So I was in favor of what we're doing. I'm just figuring out how to mute and unmute my computer. That's all. Thank you.
Aren't we all? Okay, thank you. Thank you for that.
I'm proud of you, Hobie.
Good luck again.
So, anyone else need more time to cast their vote? Okay, Candace, are you able to post the results? Okay, so it looks like we have received a majority vote with 92% of the members. And then we have the one, it looks apparently one abstaining. So thank you all for your understanding, and the officers and directors look forward to leading the organization. And it may look a little different for the first couple months, but we're going to hit the ground running as soon as we're able to. Thank you very much, and I'll turn the meeting back over to you, Mr. President.
Sir, just a quick correction. We had 3 abstain.
All 3, okay. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Joe, thank you very much. To the membership of the organization, thank you for the trust and support of myself and the rest of the leadership of the organization. We greatly appreciate it, and we won't let you down. Moving on to new business, scholarship winners. Past President Howe.
Am I unmuted?
You're unmuted.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. We had 2 scholarship winners submitted this year. The first one is the J.R. Haynes Memorial Scholarship. We had a Sedera T. Funches from Triangle, Virginia, at $1,000. She is looking to go to the University of New Haven, Fire Science, Fire Arson Investigation. She had a nice resume, and she was picked for J.R. Haynes Memorial Scholarship. I guess you can't see a picture of me, or can you? Is there any picture?
No.
Okay, so I can't hold up their pictures.
Hobie, I can change that. Just 1 second.
Okay.
And Hobie, if you can scan them and email them to me, we'll get them up on the webpage.
Hobie, you should be able to turn your camera on now and show your pictures.
That's a good one.
There should be a little thing that says start video. It has a camera. It's next to the mute button.
Yeah, okay. Start video?
Yes.
Okay. How's that?
There you go.
Hey, we see you.
Okay. Here's the young lady from Virginia. She's taken the fire science course, and she submitted a very nice resume. So that's one recipient. Okay. Second recipient, this young lady. is for the Kenneth E. Butts Memorial Scholarship. Her name is Emma Rose Elson. She is from Hadley, Maine. She is course of study is health studies, and she'll be awarded $500 for her scholarship. These were the two young ladies that we had submit, and very nice from both of them for the scholarships. So thank you very much. I asked them to be online this morning. I got a phone call from Sadara's mother. They weren't able to get online. I know of others I've talked to this morning that were having the same problem. Steve Hebner tried. So there are people out there who weren't able to get online with us this morning for whatever reasons. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Hobie, for your work on this. Any questions for Hobie?
So Hobie, there is a question. Bob Romick has asked to make sure that he gets that information for the program booklet for next year.
Okay, that's fine. I can send him to what? Does he want everything, pictures and everything to go with that?
So I would just follow up with him directly and ask him what he would like. That way you can get that over to him.
Sure. And I want to thank the committee for all their hard work as well. It's a team effort. It's not just me. It's the team. So thank you very much.
Hobie, Jim Watson here.
Yes, sir.
The secretary would like you to email me that information so she can make it part of the record, please.
Sure thing.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
While we're in awards, just an announcement or remark. The remaining awards, the Happy Jack, the Joe Bukowski Award, awards will be presenting in October. I'll be getting some information on shortly again on making sure that we have people applying for them, but just a general reminder when that information will be due. But we want to have some things to do in the October meeting, so those will be awarded and presented at the October meeting. Other new business, auditors report. Chairman Gerald Holtry. Gerald, are you on? Anybody else from the auditing committee on?
It came back on. Yeah, it's back on.
All right. I'll reach out to Gerald and we'll get that report. Steve, I'm glad to see you're back on.
Thank you, sir.
Next item under new business, adoption of the 2021 budget. Gene Worthington and Jerry Daniels. Gene or Jerry, can either of you guys speak or?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Went through this budget with Gene and he submitted corrections, and I really don't have any issues other than the fact that I haven't received any information regarding these awardees of their scholarships. So it looks like they probably will not be paid in this year because Monday will be the last day of our year 2020. And that may need to be adjusted because those figures will be increasing in 2021. And I guess the other question I have in regards to that it's because I've been fumbling my way through this, is the Hobie said that the one awardee got a scholarship amount of $500. I always thought it was $1,000 for all. And basically, that's all I have. Anybody have any questions of me?
Just as a side note, I worked with Gene and Jerry on the budget, and I have reviewed it. Jerry's been sending updates or monthly statements to me. This budget, Jerry, correct me if I'm wrong, is basically flat, and by flat I mean from last year. We're basically the same budget from last year. But a side note, the organization financially is what I'm seeing and being told. We are in the best financial state that we've ever been over the years. Even with everything that's going on, I know 2 years ago we were very concerned about our financial status, and we had discussions about various things. And what I'm seeing today is we are in a good place. We need to maintain that good place, but we're in a good place. And I know Jerry and Gene looked at it very hard and looked at things and trying to predict what's going to go on in the future and even over next year. But we're in a good place. I know from my standpoint, I'm comfortable with the budget that they've put together. I don't know if Candace and Joe have any comments. Jerry, if you have anything else, but great job to you and Gene.
Well, essentially, the one thing that we need to be make the membership aware of, it's truly beneficial to us what responder safety has been doing for us as far as finances are concerned. And that's why we are in the position that we are. And this budget basically is a balanced budget, which we really didn't have in the past couple of years. And that's basically all I have, Mr. President.
Okay.
Jerry?
Yes.
Candace, can I wanted me to ask you to, if you could send all that information to me so I can give it to her for the record, please?
Yeah, a copy of the budget.
Yep, copy the budget and the report that's on the screen, the balance sheet and all. That way she can attach it to the report.
Absolutely. There's no problem. Send it to you or not to her?
Well, you can say either one.
Okay.
And
Will do.
Mr. President, Bob Cumberland had his hand up.
Okay, and Gene Worthington's on and wanted to speak also.
Okay.
It's Bob Cumberland. Let Gene talk, and I'll talk after him.
Thank you, Bob. Go ahead, Gene.
Okay, the budget this year is for $16,650 expenses, and it matches as the income. And we're very happy to say that we did not have to transfer any money from our savings to balance the budget.
And Gene, I don't know if you heard me before, excellent job to you and Jerry. We're in a good place. Thank you.
Yes.
Bob, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. And Gene answered my question. I was going to check to see if we had to transfer any funds, and he answered that question. So without any others, unless there's other questions, I'd like to make a motion that we accept the budget as presented.
We have a motion to have a second.
Just 1 second. So we do have some questions still, and Bill Mortimer had already made a motion in the chat feature to accept the budget. So Bill's getting good at this. So we have Hobie has his hand up, and so does Walter. So I believe Hobie was first.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Back to the scholarship amounts. Jerry was in question. If that's the case, then we need to revise the application because the Kenneth Butts shows as $500 for the scholarship, and the J.R. Haynes Memorial is $1,000. So he was in question of that. I mean, I've got the paperwork here. If that's the case, it has not been revised.
Okay. In the past, we've always paid $1,000, so I don't know exactly where the loophole is there.
All right, can we check Hobie between, and we'll get Steve, and can we check between the website and the hard copy and make sure we're saying the same thing and being consistent across the board, whether it's on the application, where we have it advertised and those type of things?
We also have a problem, or a slight problem. The applications still are going to Greg Yost, the home office manager, which is incorrect. That needs to be also, I believe, changed. So, I mean, Greg was getting them and passing them on. So we need to look at the whole application, I believe, in reference to this.
All right, so can I have you, Steve, and Mike Cox get together offline and making sure we're getting the things to the right place and stuff? And Greg, thanks for helping out and getting those forwarded, but making sure we get them to the right place so we don't lose anything and we're advertising the right amounts and the right information.
Yes, sure.
Yep.
Okay, if I get the three of you guys together, that'd be great.
I appreciate it.
So Walter had his hand up.
Go ahead, Walter.
Walter, my friend, you're going to need to unmute yourself.
I was just going to be second in the budget amendment.
Okay.
And we have Bob Cumberland has his hand up as well.
Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. Checking the bylaws under Article 5, Section, Section, it would be old Section 7, new Section 8, the Scholarship Committee shall select, and it says in there, the Scholarship Committee may, and it's sole discretion, award such amounts, a such amount or amounts by way of a grant not to exceed $1,000 each. So it looks like they have a discretion on how much they want amount to give by the bylaws, if I'm reading it right.
All right.
If I could add to that, this is Dave Lewis. I did look at what's on the website. The applications, which are dated 2017, do say 1,000 for the Haynes Award and the Butts Award for 500, and they do go to Yost. So as the problem that Hovey brought out is correct on what's on the website. So your action to have them go back over that and make sure we got the right applications out there is appropriate.
All right, so again, we'll have the home office manager and Mr. Austin from the website side, and then Hobie as the chair for that committee to get together and make sure we have everything updated and we're all working off the same sheet of music and what we're putting out there and what's displayed.
Sir Walter still has his hand up.
Walter?
I was just going to, I don't know why it didn't, Laura. I was just going to second the motion on the budget.
Okay. All right, Candace, so we have any other discussion on this?
So Hobie has his hand up. Let me unmute him. Oh,
Am I
Hobie,
there?
you're good.
Am I there?
You're good.
Okay, so we would have to make a recommendation as a group to up the scholarship for the Kenneth E. Butts from 500 to 1,000. Is that what I'm hearing? To change the application?
Well, Hobie, I'll tell you, from my standpoint, I would like you guys, before we even do that, to take a look at the other scholarship too, to make sure we have the right information, the right dates, everything lines up. And if that's a recommendation, we have to make that and some other changes. That's fine to come back at the October meeting with recommendations, what we need to do to get this cleaned up. Because you might take a good look at it, make sure there's not a couple other things we need to address, because we know of a few here, but you guys, when you take a look at it, may come up with 3 other things. And then I'd like to try to take care of it all at once in October if we could. Take a real good look at it between now and October, and come back and make recommendations that we could act on.
Okay, if I'm not mistaken, there's a third scholarship as well. I don't have it in front of me. Only the 2. That I thought the Kenneth E. Butts was 500 and the other scholarship as well was 500. If somebody can cue me on that. if I'm not mistaken.
There's only 2 on the website.
Excuse me?
There's only 2 on the website. I just looked at the website, which I
Okay.
can back up. So.
I thought we had started a third. Maybe I'm mistaken. So I'll have to look into it.
All right, let me do this too. Let's, for the minutes, let's appoint a working committee here. You as the scholarship chair. Whoever's in their station, can you turn down the audio? Thank you. Hobie, let's do work group. Hobie as the scholarship committee chair, Steve Austin as the webmaster per se, Mike Cox as the home office manager, and Jerry, I would like you to sit on it as the treasurer, please. And take a look at the scholarship program and any of the things related to the scholarship program, and give us a report back in October of what we need to do, what updates, those type of things. And if you come up with something that we could handle a little better, maybe even an online application, those type of things, what recommendations you come back with. But I think we need to take a look at it because we have a couple items that aren't lining up here.
Sir, we have Greg has raised his hand. Greg, go ahead. Your mic's unmuted.
The third scholarship he's talking about is the one from Franklin Fulton when they shut down.
Thank you, Greg.
Okay, thank you.
Did we miss anybody? Joe, I think you had your hand raised.
Yes, thank you. I would just like to invite the membership's attention to line 10115, which is the Fallen Fire and Emergency Services Provider Memorial Fund. That fund balance is currently at $1,780. And just to remind all the members that to fully fund that program, we need to get to $2,500. So I would encourage or challenge members to consider even a small donation. There's there's 50 members on the in attendance today. If each of those members contributed $15 to that fund, we'd be fully funded. So as the holiday season approaches us in the near future, consider a contribution to that fund so that we can get it that endowment fully funded at $2,500. So
what I hear from the vice president is a challenge to all of us.
That is correct.
I'll accept that challenge, Joe. This year, I think I may have mentioned it to you, and I certainly talked to Alan about it. Very fortunate to win a very large jackpot at the Eagles Club in Fort Orange, Florida. And Shirley and I decided that because that was totally unexpected, that we would donate all of that money. So Shirley and I are going to make a pledge at this time of $1,000 to the fund.
Oh,
and when Jerry tells me how he wants the check written, I'll get that out very shortly.
And Joe, from my standpoint, I was waiting to see what the final numbers are for participants today. I will do $5 per participant. So between Steve's donation and that should put us well over your 2,500.
We have 900 participants, Alan.
Yeah, no.
So we do have a question. So I wanted to make sure we got to everybody. Bill Mortimer has his hand up. So Bill, I will allow you to take the floor.
Yeah, that third scholarship is called the Harry G. Alt Scholarship. I'm not sure where it came from, but it was in the 2017 program booklet from our convention in McConnellsburg.
Thank you, Bill.
Okay, any other discussion on the budget? We have a motion.
Oh,
Go ahead,
just
Candace.
1 second, Alan. I just wanted to let you guys know that our good friend Rod from Stonehouse Media would like to contribute $250 to the fund.
There you go, Joe. That's a banner day.
Oh, Walter has, we have another hand raised. Just 1 second. Let me get to Walter. Walter, go ahead. You'll need to unmute, Walter.
150 from Walter.
Thank you, Walter.
Everyone is just so generous. I cannot express my appreciation for this organization within such a short time standing up that fund to benefit families. Hopefully we'll never need it, but if we do, this organization will stand tall in offering support to families that succumb to that type of tragedy. So thank you all so much. It's so generous of all of you.
Well, Joe, this is a good program. I mean, most of you know how I feel. For me, everything for me a lot of times is I don't hashtag it, but Candace knows family first, whether it's the one at home or the one at the fire station. And that's what this is all about, is taking care of our people.
So we have some more folks. Tom Savage has raised his hand. Tom, would you like to speak?
Yes. Can you hear me okay?
We can.
I'll donate 250.
Joe, you got a running list here today?
Joe doesn't understand what he started.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, yeah. Thank you, Tom.
We have
Joe,
some
you still there?
others.
Yeah, I'm still here. Somebody let me know how to write the check.
So we have a lot of people in the chat feature wanting to donate as well. So maybe somebody could suggest where the check should be sent and how they should be written.
How about we put something out on the website too in general and just tell people what went on at the meeting here, and
Okay.
we can generate also too from other members.
I'll get up with Jury and we'll get the where you want it and how it should be written, and we'll take care of it.
And Steve, we could probably put something out maybe through the Express Constant Contact also, you know, what went on at the meeting with this and, you know, how people can donate to it. A little bit with it, what it's about, what it's for.
So George has his hand up. So we'll allow George the floor.
Only thing I'm doing is calling for the question to get this on.
Come on, George. Hey, George, I gotta be in Winchester by noon, so come on.
Let's just vote on it.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Candace, can you adopt the budget? Can you put the poll up, please, ma'am?
Yep. Just 1 second. There we go. The poll is up. And while we have the poll going, I just want to, we have several other people. Jim and Debbie Watson are donating. Donna Walsh. We have James from Florida. So, I mean, they're just all coming in on the chat feature. So we appreciate all of the support. And we have such a wonderful organization.
Candace, can you send that anyway to Deb so she can add it to the record?
No, I've got.
Any
Yeah,
additional ones? That way she's been trying to keep up with it, but.
Yeah, and we can stay on, and she should be able to scroll through that chat feature and write them all down.
She has been, yes.
Okay, perfect. Mr. President, doesn't look like we have any more questions. Are you ready to close the poll?
Let's go ahead and close the poll. Motion passes. There wasn't somebody abstained from it. Candace, there's more than one.
There's just one abstain.
Okay, very good. All right, motion passes. Budget's adopted. Thank you. Another item under new business that was added after the agenda was posted. You can move to the next slide, Candace. That's
Okay.
fine. As most of you know, I've been involved with the activities at the Fire Academy, and Steve Austin has over the years, and I've had the opportunity to meet some really great people involved there. And One of them I was introduced to many years ago by the late Chief Don Ringer from Waynesboro. This guy's name was Wayne Powell. And Wayne and some folks got together, including Chief Gary Fredericks from Baltimore City, who lived in the Gettysburg area, along with Ronnie Coleman and Steve Austin, and a whole host and cast of characters. I use characters loosely, to start the National Fire Heritage Foundation. I know Chief Shelton's on here this morning, and obviously Billy's near and dear to me being in Stafford, but it's a great organization, and we've been involved with the Academy. We've had folks at the Heritage Foundation. A lot of the work the Heritage Foundation is doing is maintaining some of the historical documents and papers from the Fire Academy, but more so collections from the fire service in general, and a lot of greats, folks, Robbie Robinson and some of the other folks from this organization. And I'd like to entertain, it would be a cost of $200, an motion for us to join the National Heritage Foundation as an organization based on, again, our commitment to maintaining the history of the fire service, this organization and its members and members' departments for the future, and to be involved again with a group that is pivotal not only on the national level, but again with the Fire Academy, which we're so tied to with various things, and with the foundation, the Fallen Firefighters Foundation, responder safety. So any discussion? Is somebody willing to make a motion? I think it's a great idea.
Just real quick, Tony Correa had made a motion, and then Mike Cox had his hand up. So let's check with him to see if he was making a motion as well.
Yeah, I'll second Tony's motion.
Maybe we should just put a donation.
All right, so Candace, do we have a motion and a second?
We do. We have Tony Correa made the motion, and Mr. Cox seconded it.
Very good. Any discussion or comments?
Mr. President, I thought was it the last conference? I thought when he come and spoke about the Heritage Center there that afternoon, I thought we had made a motion already to support that.
We never completed the action.
Oh, okay. I know it was brought up. That's why didn't know whether we had done that or not. Okay.
And to be quite honest with you, Chief Shelton reminds me every once in a while. I'm not going to put him on the spot, but he reminds me every once in a while. But I think, again, it's a great organization. I think it's something we need to be part of, to, again, help preserve the history of the fire service, not only in our own organization. So, Candace, can we put a poll up, please, for that? And while you're putting the poll up, Mr. Weir would like to know what time the parade starts. Tim, whatever time you want to go out and drive around Berryville, go right ahead.
Steve, have the chicken ready? Because if we don't have the chicken, we don't have no parade.
That's right. Steve, can you get up to Berryville with the truck so we got some chicken afterwards?
Yeah, as long as they bring that mac out. I want to mix that mac.
Hey, Tim, it's raining. Are you going to bring the mac out? And the last item I have, while the poll's finishing up here, Steve Austin's going to talk to us about Amazon Smile as soon as we close out the poll, but I'll let Kenny just close that out when the time's appropriate here. Motion passes with one abstention. Again, thank you, folks.
So, Mr. President, real quick, I just wanted to let you know Mr. Wayne Powell is here with us. I don't know if we would like him to say anything. Wayne's one of my favorites. So, Wayne, you do have talking power if you'd like to unmute your microphone.
Actually, Candace, we can give it to Wayne, and if Chief Shelton has any comments, because of his involvement on the board also. Thank you. Gentlemen?
This is Wayne, and I thank you all very much. I want to turn it over to Vice President for Operations, Billy Shelton, but thank you very, very much.
Wayne, thank you for everything. It just seems like yesterday I was meeting you and with Chief Ringer.
Absolutely. Great man.
Long time ago, but just seems like yesterday.
Yes, it does to me too. Thank you.
Chief Shelton?
I think I've got myself unmuted. We appreciate your participation in preserving the perishables. I will tell you that we received, through the help of Wayne and some other folks, a 200-year-old print from the Fire of London over the last couple of weeks. And we also received a donation from Ken Isman on some of his collections that he's got. So we are trying to preserve the perishable, and we've done a pretty great job at it. Kudos to Wayne for all his assistance also. That's it.
Gentlemen, thank you, both you and Wayne, Billy. Thank you. Mr. Austin.
Okay, real quick here, because we're running out of time. I just want to tell everyone that we've been working with Amazon, and the Cumberland Valley Volunteer Firemen's Association has been approved for Amazon Smile. If you're not familiar with Amazon Smile, it is a charitable wing of Amazon in which they give to eligible organizations 0.5% of any purchase that you make on Amazon Smile. Now, it does not come out of your pocket, it comes out of Amazon's pocket. The way you access this is just when you go to an Amazon account, if you have an Amazon account, you just go there, whether it's Prime, whether it's just a straight Amazon account, and type in Amazon Smile. It gives you another place to log in. Once you log into that, you get to select your organization, and if you type in Cumberland Valley Volunteer Firemen's Association, then automatically your purchases, 0.5% of the purchases will be paid to the association. So it's a real good opportunity. Jack Sullivan's already taken advantage of it with our money. Jack's projector blew up this week, and we had to buy him one from Responder Safety Funds, and he bought it from Amazon Smile. So we paid for it, and Jack was able to get that, and we got 0.5% of that back already. So it's a good opportunity. Amazon, it's smile.amazon.com. Rod Ammon put it up here for us. There'll be information on the website about it. I just want to remind everybody, it does not come out of your pocket. It's something that Amazon does. So if you buy from Amazon, if you're an Amazon customer, and you want to help Cumberland Valley at the same time, all you've got to do is log in, and we'll get that benefit. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Steve. Anybody else have anything for new business?
If you do, please raise your hand or put it in the chat feature. Oh, we have something.
Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
Just under the financial secretary's report and the dues and stuff, I didn't put that part in my thing. I've been working with Steve and Stephanie at PA Firemen. Before we started massaging our membership list and everything, we had 1,067 members. It's just about complete. I'm going to send it to her. We've taken quite a few people out just because some of them haven't paid dues for 5, 6, 7 years. So we're weeding all those out. On the department side, we have 82 EMS fire rescue departments, state organizations, and fire rescue businesses that are contributing to our membership. So once I get this finalized, I will send a report out to all the officers so they can review it. And I will get this completed and send it to Steve and to Stephanie at PA Firemen. It was just disturbing to see how many members we've had, but how many have just maybe paid 1 year or 2 years and never repaid. We did that big blitz last year to have all the dues paid by convention, and it worked out well. I'm still getting new members, and I'm still getting people that have paid their dues from last year. So I'll keep everybody abreast of that, but we're doing okay with the membership dues and stuff.
Great work, Jim. Thank you to you and the group.
Sir, Mr. Bill Mortimer has his hand up.
Go ahead, Bill.
That was a while ago.
Okay.
That had to do with the budget.
All right. Thank you, Bill.
About the check for the emergency funding thing, the fallen memorial. Just send it to CVVFA and put in the memo a fallen memorial.
Okay, we'll get it out too, Bill. Thank you. All right, moving on to closing. Suggestions for the good of the order. If there are none, benediction.
Hey, Alan, I got one real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt. So
No, you're good.
I don't know if you can turn my video on, or if I can just I'll have to send a picture out to the email.
We'll see what Candace is working on here.
You're promoted, Mike.
Oh, fantastic.
And while he's turning his video on, Mr. President, just to let you know, we have several other people with their hands up before you move to the
Okay,
next
very good.
section.
All right. Hello, all. I just wanted to show you that we have these really awesome Cumberland Valley lapel pins. They are for sale. You can reach out to myself or any of the other board members, and they'll get in touch with me. They are $10 a piece. I've got an entire box of them, over 100 of them. Like to get those out to the membership. So please reach out to me and we will get them to you.
This is like Cumberland Valley QVC, huh?
Yeah.
Very good. Who else has hands up? Candace?
Mr. Tom Savage?
Mr. Savage?
Yes. I just want to thank the officers and those who put this thing together. It's very difficult if you've not been on Zoom and you try to put something this size together. I think you did an excellent job.
We've got a good crew, Tom. Thank you.
Next up, we have Mr. Dave Lewis. I
David?
guess I gotta allow him to talk. I made him quiet for a while.
I know she keeps muting me. I'm telling you. And I thought she was my friend. I just kind of echo on what Tom just said. I just want to commend the format of this meeting. I think it was very productive, very well organized. Thank Candace for driving the screen show, and I think that this is a good wave for the future. Given it, a lot of people can't travel a couple 100 miles to go out to meetings, and yeah, I know periodically we do want to get together in person, but this is a great format and it's working well.
Thank you, Dave.
So next up, we have Mr. Bob Romig.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, Alan. Candace, you did an outstanding job on this. Was very interesting. I would ask, as publicity manager, for participation again starting next year. I'll be getting a letter out probably in January. We had about 7 or 8 people that had sent money in, and all money was returned. That he did promise that they would take it out again next year. But I just need more cooperation out of the officers of this association to get ads or place an ad so we can make the book a success again. I look forward to working on it again next year. It was nice hearing and talking from some of you guys. And Steve Austin, hope you put that fire out that was behind you.
You think his neck will be getting a little warm about now, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
Candace, who else do we have?
Sir, past President Greg Yost.
I'd just like to echo what everybody else has said about the format. I've been pushing for this for a couple of years now. Thank you all for putting it together. It was a great first effort, and we'll just get better as the future holds. So thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else, Candace?
We don't have any other hands up, and I don't think that we have anything in the chat feature, so I think we're good.
Is Assistant Chaplain Worry on?
I did not.
Candace, unmute yourself.
Sorry. I do not see him on. If he is on, if he could raise his hand, that would be wonderful.
Chaplain Barnhart, are you still on?
He is, and I can allow him to talk.
Okay.
He now has talking privileges.
Chaplain Barnhart, could you give us a quick benediction since the Assistant Chaplain is available?
Of course.
Thank you, Charlie.
But I want to put in a plug, if I could, before I do the benediction. For those of you who don't have anything to do on Sunday mornings and you're leaving through Facebook, my congregation at Keysville does Facebook Live services every Sunday morning at 10:45. Since I can't see you all in person, if you all want to at least get a good worship service in on Facebook, feel free to go on to my Facebook page and join me for worship at 10:45. Until we see each other again, I certainly want to Wish everyone the best. Keep me posted on anybody that needs prayer. And also, until we get together again, please be safe during this pandemic. I say, other than that, let us pause for the benediction. And now may the blessings of Almighty God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit rest and abide in each one of you from this day on and until we meet again. Amen.
Next meeting is set to be on Saturday, October 24th at 9 a.m. is a virtual meeting. And again, if things would change and we're able to meet in person, we'll maybe shift some gears, but right now that doesn't look like it's probably going to be an option, but we can always be hopeful. On a side note, as we're facing this uncertainty and hopefully we're at some point coming out of it, again, the October 24th meeting will be a Zoom meeting, but we're also looking at some type of holiday winter social like we talked about last year. Maybe no meeting, just to get some folks together for the day at a location at Central. I know we had talked about Gettysburg and Harrisburg last year and a couple other places. The officers are going to be looking at that because I think that's important if we can get together, if things are relaxed. Again, if some people probably just need some time to get together and have some social time and not worry about even organization business, just to get together and chat, because we haven't been able to do that for so many months now. And again, I think this organization. Before adjournment, I was going to ask Candace to run the flag presentation again. I have not gotten any comments about the Butler slide, so thought a little challenge here, if you don't mind and indulge. Again, first person to contact me gets a challenge coin. See if you guys can figure it out.
Sir, before you move on, I would like to ask Mr. Steve Austin to share a little bit about the last photo of that slideshow.
Absolutely. Steve?
Thank you, Candace. We've been keeping in touch with Kenneth Snavely over the last number of years, and he joined the association in 1940. He went off to World War II, distinguished career there. He later moved away from the Chambersburg area and went on out to Ohio, where he spent the remaining part of his working life. He's in great shape. The way I haven't spoken to him for a little while, but the way we keep in touch with him is to keep checking the local newspaper there, because he's by far the oldest resident out there. He gets around real well. And I was looking through the papers out there just before this meeting to see what his status was. Hopefully I would not see an obituary, and I certainly did not. I was pleasantly surprised that he is doing well, and they had a parade tribute parade that went by his residence, and there he is sitting in his chair waving an American flag. So God bless Kenny Snavely, and hope he has many, many more years as the oldest member of our association.
Thank you, Steve. So a little bit to answer, quick answer to the quiz and we'll, or the contest, and we'll adjourn. Nobody picked it up, but that vehicle serves in Butler County at Station 26. That's formerly Quint 1 of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. For your apparatus guys.
Sir, we have a motion to adjourn from John Townley.
Do I have a second?
Walter has raised his hand.
All right, all those in favor?
Oh, let me run the poll.
Absolutely.
Mr. President, I'm just going to check to make sure nobody had any comments and it was just for their motion.
Very good.
Toby, you had your hand up. I just wanted to make sure that you were, you didn't have any thing to share. Toby, you still have yourself on mute.
How about now?
You're back with us.
Okay. I wish everyone a wonderful weekend, and this was a great success with the convention. So everyone take care, be safe, and until we meet again, thank you.
Thank you, Hobie.
Sir, we do not have any other hands up. Would you like me to close the poll?
Yes, ma'am. Motion passes with one abstention, so we'll make this official if I can do it without smacking my fingers. Meeting's adjourned. Thank you, everybody.